Hey guys, it's Crafty Season and welcome back to another video, and in today's video I am going to be talking about some weird items in Animal Jam Play Wild that you probably have never heard of. So as you know, there are a lot of items in Animal Jam Play Wild, and by a lot I mean like thousands. And among those thousands of items, there are some really weird ones, and so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about some that rub me the wrong way, slash some of them that I've never heard of because I've only started playing like 2 years ago, and I'm still not aware of all of the items that are in this game. Okay, so starting off with the first few items, I'm going to be talking about the Reindeer Poop and the Phantom Poop. So in theory, these are kind of just, I guess you could say these are pretty tame items, but I just think it's really weird that there's just fecal matter in this game. Like, I feel like Phantom Poop, you can use it as kind of like a scientific artifact because it's pretty normal. I still don't understand why there's a need for poop of any animal in this game, but like, it's kind of cool. It's like a important material source, but then that's okay, right? But then when we look at the reindeer poop, I don't know why. Genuine question, why was this needed? And it's steaming! I don't know how I should feel about this item. It weirds me out. It's kind of weird. I don't like it. There's just something about it that is so off-putting, and it's just reindeer poop. Like, that's all it is. So the next item that I want to talk about is the Beach House Mira Sand Statue. It's a mouthful, but like the item is really interesting looking to me. And to be honest, this item isn't necessarily a weird item, but I put it on the list because I hadn't heard of it until like a few weeks ago when a friend showed it to me and they got it from the treasure hunting game. And I think the item is pretty cool. I just think it's kind of funny that there is this mystical creature, which, you know what, I take that back. Fun fact, Mira is not a phoenix. This entire time I was under the impression that Mira was like this mystical phoenix, like the fiery phoenix, even though it's not like fiery. It just looked like a cool bird. Mira is a gray heron. I searched it up and it's just a random bird, which like it kind of looks like Mira, but like it just doesn't look as cool as I thought it would. It looks like a bird. Now, the next items that I want to talk about are actually meat products because I don't know if you guys have noticed, but this game is called Animal Jam, and meat products come from, I don't know if you heard, but meat products come from animals, and we have meat products in the game. And I mean, like, when I speak it out loud, it doesn't seem that weird, but like, just, I feel like it's kind of odd that we have these items in the game. Like, so for example, we have this burger and fries. Like, it's normal, you can't interact with it and eat it, so it's pretty tame. But then, when I come down here, we have something like this hot dog stand, which makes it a whole lot worse because this item is an interactive item, which means you can take the item and you can hold it around, but what makes this even worse is that you can eat the item. You'd think that it's not that bad because nobody really knows what hot dogs are made out of, but that just makes it a whole lot worse because number one, we don't know what type of meat is used in these hot dogs, and number two, they're just allowing us to eat products like this. And I think that this is one of the few interactive items that we have that is a meat product item, but still I think it's kind of weird that we have items like this. Now the next few items I want to talk about are actually clothing items, and they are all of the animal hats. I kid you not, there are way too many animal hats in this game because just look, if I go to the clothing section and I type in any animal that you can think of, for example, if I just put in fox, look, we have two different fox hats. We have the Phoenix Fox tail hat and the Flying Fox hat. And there's also these two other hats as well. Why are there so many animal hats in this game? What makes it even worse is there's not only a lynx hat, but also a lynx bow tie, which the lynx bow tie is kind of cool. It might just be like, you know, fake fur, but this lynx hat, it's quite literally the brain of a lynx. You cannot tell me that this is not weird. And they do this for pretty much every animal that you can think of. If I just type in cow hat, boom, there's a cow hat. If I put in something as random as a falcon hat, there's a falcon hat. There's a hat of almost every animal in the game. So not only do we have this questionable meat, but we also have the remains of dead animals from the game. It really does sound like the alphas are hiding something from us, because why? These have got to be the most questionable items to exist. Like, I shouldn't have this many questions about items in this game. Now, the next item I want to talk about is just, you really need to see this, because this has got to be one of the weirdest items that they've added. So the next weird item is this chattering skull. It is quite literally the skull of who knows what animal. It looks like a monkey skull, but despite that, this is really weird. But like, they added it during Halloween, number one, but it's a really good item for Halloween dens, so like, I'm not complaining that much, but like, it would be okay if it wasn't moving, but it's still moving, which is kind of weird to me. Like, just look at it. Now, the next item that is kind of strange to me is the desktop PC. So in theory, this item is actually pretty cool, and I really like it because it's a realistic computer, unlike some of the other ones that we've gotten, which are just normal laptops. I think it's pretty cool. But there's something funny about the item. So look, for example, this is the item when it's placed down. It's reasonably sized and it's pretty cool, but when you sit down and interact with it, you can quite literally see the Animal Jam logo, and this in itself is not that weird, but it's kind of funny to think that Animal Jam exists in Animal Jam, which means that that Animal Jam has Animal Jam in it, and then that Animal Jam, it's just kind of weird to think about it, and it makes your brain kind of hurt, but I think it's pretty cool. So the next few items, I just think that they're funny that they exist. Turns out that there are two different flea items in the game. There's this flea circus, which I don't know, this is just kind of cute. And then there's also just the fleas item, which I think is pretty funny. And it's just kind of funny to think that we have all these other bugs like centipedes and other type of bugs in the game, but then we just have fleas, which like it's reasonable because this is an animal game, but I just think it's funny. So the next item I think is kind of weird is this phantom candy bowl. And I mean, for most people you might think, oh yeah, it's a phantom, Night of the Phantoms during Halloween, so this is kind of reasonable. It's just a candy bowl, there's nothing really weird with it. But I will not stand for this phantom cruelty. Just look at it. They sawed the top of an innocent phantom's head off and filled it with candy. Is that not weird? And I know canonically phantoms are the villain of the game, but we literally have nice phantoms now, and I will not stand for this. Just because some phantoms are a little bad and kind of mean doesn't mean that all phantoms are bad and deserve to be treated like this, because how would you feel if you got turned into a candy bowl? Genuinely. Now, the final Animal Jam Play Wild item that I think is kind of weird is the Sugar Keeper. Now, it sounds like a pretty normal item, and when you see the icon, it does look pretty normal. This is what the item icon looks like, and it looks like a reasonably sized item. It looks nice to use. It looks like a nice additional den item, right? But then I just want you guys to see the scale ratio of this thing compared to me when I place it. This is what the item looks like when you place it down, and tell me why this thing is so big. I mean, like, now that I think about it, it's not that big, but why is it half of my body? I feel like it should be the size of, like, this present. I don't think it should be this big, so it's just kind of strange. It looks like a bowl of flour instead of sugar. But yes, guys, those were some of my opinions on some of the items that I think are a little bit weird, and if you guys disagree with any of them, that is totally okay. These were just my opinions on the items, and I think they were pretty reasonable. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing, as I'm trying to hit 2K subscribers before the end of the year as a challenge. And yeah, bye guys!